Today marks 1 year since the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. 1 year ago, hundreds of people broke windows, scaled walls, erected gallows at the Capitol building. Since then, federal prosecutors have charged more than 700 people in over 45 states for their participation in what is now referred to as the Capitol Hill riots. Arrests continue daily. There was one shooting death on January 6th, Ashley Babbitt. There were a number of police officers whose deaths resulted from the insurrection. Officer Sicknick died shortly after the attack, and perhaps more tragic are the suicide deaths of officers Howard Liebengood, Jeffrey Smith, Kyle DeFreitag, and Gunther Hashida. In the days that followed, the idea of an inquiry into the events leading up to that day were met with partisan opposition. Many Republicans in Congress and conservative media likened these attacks to those of the racial justice protests and the property damage that resulted in Portland, Seattle, and across the country. A select committee was created by House Democrats comprised of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans. Representatives Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger were met with heavy backlash from their party. Along with the rest of the committee, they have issued subpoenas and collected data from over 300 witnesses and obtained more than 35,000 pages of records. Yet something still feels off. People attacked our United States government in an attempt to prevent an election from being certified. They made death threats against the sitting vice president in the form of chants and the erection of gallows outside. It is 1 year later, and in my opinion, not enough has been done in response to this domestic terror attack. Let's revisit our special episode released 1 year ago. America, come get your children. The ones you are so proud of. The ones wearing stars and stripes, buying guns like candy. The ones dripping with white privilege that you created with red blood from brown skin. America, come get your children. Come get your kids, the ones flying flags of defeat, of history long dead, of a life they wish they had, of superiority they believe they have. The lies you whispered in their ears as you rock them to sleep, look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. America, come get your children, the ones terrorizing this country, the ones terrorizing the world, the ones never called a terrorist. Come get your rapist, your misogynist, your appropriating, hating, bigoted offspring. You know, the apples that didn't fall far from the tree. America, come get your children, the ones running the country, the ones too cowardly to speak up, the ones that shoot into protests, churches, light torches, run cars into peace. Come get your deceased infants, entitled children in men's bodies, jealous girls screaming in women's voices. Come get this disgusting basket of deplorables that you nurtured on manifest destiny, the pale pink faces in utter disbelief, that even though you put your knee on every brown and black neck you saw, we have fought back and risen, casting shadows on your children, and they rage when they learn that being a white mediocre man is no longer enough. America, come get your children before they burn this stolen land down, and you with it. Hey everybody, the poem you just heard is called America, Come Get Your Children. It's written by one of the poets that I really respect. Her name is Leslie Honore, and I found her on Facebook, but you can see her collection of poems at leslieHonore.com. It's LESLEHONORE.com. I wanted to make sure to give her credit because that poem strikes to the heart of a lot of things I'm feeling today. Unfortunately, it's just M today. Mo is not on the vibration to be discussing this, and I respect that 100% because she's on a journey to peace. But I'm in it. I am livid. I cannot believe what I saw yesterday, January 6th, 2021. Something I've never seen before, something I never expected to see. MAGA hats and Confederate flags and Trump flags flying outside of the Capitol building. Inside the Capitol building, Republicans trying their hardest to subvert the will of the people, trying to change the outcome, or at least performatively change the outcome of the 2020 election. Joe Biden won, just like Trump won in 2016. But I guess we can't handle it. We, as in the people outside the Capitol building yesterday. I know there's been a lot of protests. A lot of people are likening this to what's gone on in Portland, what's gone on in Seattle, what's gone on all over the country. But this is not the same as a Black Lives Matter protest. And for people to equate the two is even more illustrative of the blindness to racial injustice in this country. Black Lives Matter protests are because we are being killed for being Black in this country. Unarmed people, men and women, are being killed by the police. We are still viewed as a threat. We are threatening, and we are shot, or we are strangled to death. What I saw yesterday was a perfect example of how racism is still alive in this country. Now, I want to talk about this in two ways. The first is that I'm an American. I'm a very proud American. I consider myself a patriot. I love this country. I think we are a great country. We are not a country without sin. We are not a country without critique and criticism. We are not perfect. We are a great country. And to see what I saw yesterday upsets me as a patriot, as an American. I am also a Black woman. What I saw yesterday upsets me as a member of a marginalized community, as somebody who comes from slaves. This takes me back to a place of discomfort, of anger, of just a reminder of what this country was built upon and how it still thrives today. So first, I want to say that I've had a problem with people waving Trump flags since the Trump flags came out. Why is this one individual putting his name on a flag for you to wave? We have the American flag. That is the flag you wave. Yesterday on the news, I saw police pulling these insurgents, these terrorists, I'm going to call them what they are, down from the scaffolding outside the Capitol building. They were attempting to remove the American flag that flies above the Capitol building and replace it with a Donald Trump flag. Now, for you out there who may be Trump supporters, please explain that to me. I feel like the Republican Party always claims to be the patriots. They support the military almost exclusively. They're the party for the military. They're the ones that wear the American flag like it's fashion. Please explain to me how that's acceptable, or why you allowed people who represent you, who represent Donald Trump, to do something like that. This country is for everybody. This isn't Donald Trump's country. This is America. And that flag means something. And to try to pull it down and replace it with a flag of a person, no, that's unacceptable to me. I also watched as these people broke windows and they climbed in, they desecrated the house. This is the first time in history that a Confederate flag breached the walls and was waved around inside the Capitol building. First time in American history. That flag represents so much. That flag represents a portion of our country saying, we don't want to be with you anymore. We want to secede. We don't want to be America anymore. That's what that flag represents. That flag represents a portion of the country that believes that Black people should still be in chains. That's what that flag represents. And that flag was in the people's house. It's disgusting. I also don't understand, and I'm very upset with, the lack of police presence. I think it's important to address the fact that our president and the Department of Defense did not authorize the National Guard's presence. They're the ones responsible in the district in D.C. for authorizing the use of military force. That was not done. We had to have governors from Maryland and from Virginia to send their National Guard, to activate their National Guard, send their state troopers to come assist. Where was the federal government on this? The current vice president and the vice president-elect were in that building. And Trump sat by, hiding in the White House, doing nothing. And when it came time to send out a video, he did what he did at that debate with the Proud Boys. He said, don't do this anymore, this is bad, but, and then gave every reason why they should continue. He lost. This is showing us who he is. He lost. He cannot deal with it. This is not something money can buy you out of, Mr. Trump. You lost an election because you failed the country, you failed the people of America for 4 years. You have served your own interests. You have served the interests of your family. You have profited off of being an American president while being the president. You have committed crimes. You have incited this violence against the American government. You should be removed. The people voted you out, but you don't even deserve to be there for the next 13 days. You gotta go. I haven't watched the news today to see what's going on. I haven't seen any arrests taking place. I want to know. There's facial recognition. There are a lot of pictures. These fools were taking selfies in the Capitol. What kind of idiot do you have to be to commit a crime and then document it for all to see? And in some of the interviews, I saw that people were saying this is a revolution. What are you revolting against? A revolution of what? Please, somebody tell me. What are you revolting against? On the flip side, I see a racial component to this that is very, very, very unsettling. It's not as though we didn't know this happened, this existed, but had those been Black Lives Matter protesters, had they been black and brown people, had they not been waving Trump flags, wearing MAGA hats, donning the colors of the American flag, had they been out there, fists held high, black and brown, they would have been killed. There is no question in my mind that they wouldn't even have been allowed to climb the steps. They wouldn't have been allowed to scale the walls. I saw pictures of people climbing the walls. There were people breaking windows and climbing in. There would have been a lot of blood on the steps of the Capitol yesterday. And I want to ask everybody why that is. And if you don't believe what I'm saying is true, then you need to check yourself, because had they been black, it wouldn't have gotten this far. You wouldn't have pictures of people standing on the dais on the floor of the House. You wouldn't have people crawling through windows that they broke, ransacking congressmen's offices. You wouldn't have had a picture of somebody with their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. This is terrible. Terrible. If you're a Democrat or a Republican, if you're an American, you should be pissed. This is not something that should be allowed to happen. And every single person who committed these crimes yesterday needs to be held to account. They need to be arrested. The people who incited this violence, these crimes, need to be arrested. This is not America. And I think it's going to take a long time to heal from this. This has been a long time coming. Every time somebody said fake news, every time the president has spewed his lies, outright lies, untruths. You've got Kelly Conway saying, they've got their set of facts and we've got ours. No, there is the truth. There is a set of facts, a real set of facts. Facts are truth. And if we can't live by the same truth, you get this. So I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know if anybody's going to be held to account. It really does feel like white people can do whatever they want in this country. And I swear, when I try to have hope, I keep getting confronted with stuff like this that says, no, stay in your place. And it's heartbreaking. It's upsetting. I am hopeful. I am hopeful with the upcoming inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that maybe they can bring a sense of maturity and respect back to the office, not because they're Democrats, but because they understand the importance of the office, the solemnity of the role that they are elected to fill. I don't think there was any of that in the last 4 years. I don't think that Donald Trump respected the office. He used it as another way to promote his brand. He put his name on a damn flag, y'all. A flag that many people waved off their cars, I've even seen it waved above the American flag on flagpoles in front of people's homes. That's disgusting. So, I don't know, but I'm going to be watching the news, looking to see what this country does to rectify this. And I am hopeful that the next president and vice president will be inaugurated and there will be some semblance of peace in this transition. Mo and I will be back to do inauguration episode after it's happened, just to kind of debrief and check in. But I thought it was important to share my feelings. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the same. So hang in there. Stay positive, stay vigilant, stay safe, wear your masks, and don't stop speaking up for what's right.